You ever have one of those moments where your whole world just stops? Like the air gets sucked out of the room, and all you can hear is your own heartbeat pounding in your ears? That was me, 30,000 feet in the air, when I realized my son, my little Caleb, wasn't in his seat anymore. I'm Ethan Brooks, just a regular dad from Portland, and what happened on that flight, man? It's the kind of story that makes you question everything. It started like any other trip. Me, Caleb, my 10-month-old bundle of chaos, flying home to see my folks in Denver. He's teething, fussy, letting out these sharp little cries that cut through the plane's hum like a knife. I'm bouncing him on my lap, whispering, "Hang in there, buddy, we're almost home," but he's not having it. The cabin pressure's messing with his ears, and I can feel every eye in the plane boring into us. This one flight attendant, Vince, big guy with a buzz cut and a jaw like he's chewing gravel, stops by our row. His badge glints under the overhead light, and he gives me this look, not annoyed, but cold, like he's sizing us up. "You gotta keep him quiet," he says, voice flat. "People are trying to sleep." I force a smile, say something about teething, but he just nods and walks off. I don't think much of it until I look down a minute later, and Caleb's gone. Gone. His blanket's crumpled on the seat, his bottle's still there, but my boy-me heart isn't. I drop to my knees, checking under the seat, my hands shaking so bad I can barely move my bag. "Caleb," I call, my voice cracking, loud enough to make the guy behind me jump. He's got a newspaper, looks confused, says he didn't see anything. I'm up, moving, heart slamming against my ribs, checking the aisle, the lavatory, banging on doors. Nothing. Nobody's seen him. I grab another crew member, a kid named Tim, all freckles and nervous energy. "My son's missing." I choke out. "Row 8C, he was right there." Tim's eyes go wide. He fumbles with his radio, calls for Vince. No answer. I'm spiraling, thinking, he's 10 months old. He can't crawl that fast. Someone took him. And then I hear a muffled thump, like something shifting above me. I freeze, look up. The overhead bin above row 6 shakes, just a little. My gut twists, and before I can think, I'm yanking it open. There's Caleb, wedged between a suitcase and a backpack, his tiny face red, fists balled up, crying so hard he's barely making a sound anymore. The bin's dark, airless, and I can't breathe either as I pull him out, his little body trembling against my chest. Passengers gasp, phones come out, someone yells for the captain. I'm shaking, screaming, "Who did this? Who put my baby in there?" And that's when all hell breaks loose. This guy steps forward, flashes a badge, Jake Monroe, Federal Air Marshal, calm but sharp, like he's seen worse. "Stay in your seats," he barks, scanning the crew. "Where's Vince?" Tim's sweating now, says he saw Vince head to the back galley. We move fast, me clutching Caleb, Jake leading the way. The galley's empty, but behind a curtain, there's a panel, barely noticeable. Jake slides it open, revealing a stairwell, dark, cold, not part of any plane I've ever been on. We go down, and it's like stepping into a sci-fi flick. Monitors line the walls, showing passenger seats, one zoomed in on mine. A tablet's open, and there's Caleb's name. Subject L, 19. Risk tier, critical. My knees nearly give out. Jake's muttering, "This is federal-level stuff, way above a flight attendant's pay grade." Then we hear Ida click. The hatch above us seals shut. We're trapped. Jake's quick, ripping open a junction box, sparks flying as he works to override the lock. I'm holding Caleb, trying to keep him calm, but my mind's racing. Why my son? What's L19? The tablet blinks, a new alert. Isolation protocol initiated. Jake curses, says, "This isn't just Vince. Someone's running a program." The hatch pops open, and we scramble back to the cabin, just as Vince's voice crackles over the intercom. "This flight's under federal hold. Stay seated." Passengers are panicking now, but Jake's already moving, badge up, shouting, "I'm in charge here, don't move." We reach the cockpit, and it's worse than I thought. The pilot's out cold, a dart mark on his neck. Vince is in the co-pilot's seat, cool as ice, an earpiece blinking red. "You weren't supposed to find out," he says, smirking, "but you're off the manifest soon." He lunges at Jake, and it's chaos fists, a fire extinguisher swinging, Vince's head cracking against the console. I tie his hands with a cord, Caleb still in my arms, and Jake grabs the earpiece. A voice cuts through. "L19 not secured." Purge protocol advised. My blood runs cold. They were going to kill us. Jake reroutes an emergency beacon, and we land hard at a remote airstrip. Black SUVs are waiting, and this guy, Director Wells, steps up, all calm authority and a scar across his brow. He pulls me aside, says Caleb's DNA flagged a system years ago, a leaked bio trial from some shady lab, tagging kids with potential. Vince was a contractor, rogue, sent to retrieve Caleb. I'm shaking, holding my boy, thinking, he's a baby, not a lab rat. Weeks later, I leak the footage to a whistleblower site. It goes viral. Justice for Caleb trends, the airline's in flames, and Vince's firm vanishes overnight. But it's not over. A letter slides under my door, no sender, just a photo of another kid, eerily like Caleb, with a note. He didn't make it. Protect yours. Jake and I dig deeper, find a program called Nexus, targeting kids like Caleb for years. And then Caleb, my little guy, points at a TV screen, at a Senate candidate, Simon Holt, and says, "That's him." My heart stops. Holt's linked to Nexus, to the voice on Vince's earpiece. We're still fighting, exposing names, pushing for laws to stop this. But every night, I check the locks, watch Caleb sleep, and wonder who's still out there. This isn't just my story, it's about every kid who's just a number to someone with power. What would you do if it was your family? Drop a comment, share your thoughts, because silence lets this happen again.